Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Happy Thursday. This feels kind of like last Friday, doesn't it? Kind of this deep red day here for altcoins. Bitcoin dominance going up, Bitcoin's going down, and so are altcoins. So it's never a good sign when we see that. It doesn't mean it's going to last very long though. Typically this lasts about 24 hours and we're getting close to the end. I'll discuss more about that here in a minute, but we do want to kind of open up with some liquidation levels and kind of see where Bitcoin's at first. You could, of course, hit the like button, comment below, deeply appreciate it. And all my members who've been watching me for a long time, thank you so much. Welcome aboard if you are new to the channel. I like to just kind of take an abstract look at Bitcoin, make sure we understand kind of what's going on here with as much data as possible. And generally speaking, looking at the back end here, we can see still heavy concentration at 70,500 for some late shorts here that entered the market yesterday as a result of the Fed meeting. Now, the interesting thing about this is the Fed meeting was very positive, or at least more so neutral, okay? Neutral is positive in general, and as I highlighted previously too, when you look at larger time frames, you can see that as a result of the Fed meeting, not a direct result, but a short delay after, we can see generally a positive impact on the market, okay? So again, it's not exact, it's not perfect, but every Fed meeting we've had so far, within 5 trading days, we've seen the price action of Bitcoin increase roughly 20 to 30%, depending on how much of an average you put into it. Okay, so again, there is that. So keep that in mind. Hypothetically, we're still in decent shape. Holding 67,000 to me is an important level we want to kind of pay attention to. So we'll look at that, but quickly to note back here, just to kind of throw it out there as well, just so you understand you're fully informed. There is still a lot of liquidation on the downside too. Okay, so let's not just be blinded by the fact that 70 to 72,000 as a rough estimate is a heavy concentration liquidation of the upside. We've also got a decent amount to the downside too. Heaviest concentration to the downside is roughly about 64,500. And then of course we got another pocket there at about 63,000. So again, just know that that is there. It's not necessarily, the sky isn't falling, but just if we lose 67,000, start trending closer to that 66K range again, there's a solid chance we might see that lower level swept. So just a heads up on that. Let's quickly look at the moving averages here on the daily and just kind of see where we're at. So to note here from yesterday, again, when we looked at this yesterday, we were breaking bullish. We broke our descending trend line. Now we're officially back below that. Had a very strong false positive, kind of getting, I guess you could say, a bull trap for lack of better terms, giving everybody the indication that Bitcoin's back on track. We got some good neutral news in the market. And of course, it dumps no less than 4 hours later. Okay, so again, this is a true manipulation tactic. It happens all the time. I'm not surprised by it. You shouldn't be either. When we took our positions here yesterday, we gave them a kind of a wide berth to ensure that we have the flexibility to bounce back from this. Now, if we do invalidate the trade, I would say invalidation would come somewhere in the range of 66 to 67,000. So to me personally, holding 67,000, which we've done so far 3 days in a row, leads me to believe that we're in pretty decent shape. But again, this is not a sugar-coated situation at all. We're still under the 20-day SMA, and it would have been nice to close above that yesterday. We didn't get that. But we are above all other moving averages here, so not in terrible shape. All things considered, Bitcoin's not in dire straits yet. However, we take a look here at RSI. We're now officially under 50 on the RSI. I did mention yesterday, pay attention to this. If we close below that, that could be a shift in momentum, and we're noticing that. So we just want to be mindful of that. Stochastic is swinging down pretty hard here too still, so that leads me to believe we will see somewhat of a bounce here in the relative near future. We do take a look at the last time Stochastic swung up. We can see it was roughly here. So hypothetically, when Stochastic swings back up, we could very well see another relief rally. Again, it's not perfect, nothing that's guaranteed, but recent historical data kind of tells us that that should happen. We are diverging on the MACD, of course, as well. So once more, daily time frame for Bitcoin is on the verge of bearishness, but not quite there, kind of working on it, if you will. 4 hour time frame, take a look at this glorious candle. Look at this guy here. Oh man, that's a bearish engulfing candle if I've ever seen one. Look at a strong up, strong down, as if it never happened. That is whale trading 101, folks. Absolutely. You confirm bullish behavior on every single time frame, and it instantly just wipes that away. That is so common in this industry right now. Ever since big money got involved, I'm telling you what, folks, this has happened a lot. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. Exactly why we use low position size, low leverage. I would recommend, if you are considering becoming a swing trader, you consider low leverage for starters, because you cannot swing trade with high leverage anymore. And you also want to make sure that you adjust your risk tolerance to be a little bit more open to seeing some red markets. Okay, I know it sounds crazy, but these things can bounce based on key level supports. Most coins are probably still in pretty good shape here, pending Bitcoin doesn't drop its bottom, which once more, wouldn't be surprised. But either way, the market movers want you to start breaking bearish. They want you to start buying into this short consensus here. And as soon as everyone starts getting more and more shorts in the market, then the price action comes right back up as if it never happened. So please be careful. I know a lot of people tried to short this bottom here at 66,000, got destroyed, and it's really not worth it. While me personally, I know that I gravitate more towards long positions, and some people don't like that I don't short very often, but it's just inherently more risky, and I think you're better off not doing that. Anyways, I've survived a lot more markets than you might think because I don't short too crazily. Once more, you can't be bullheaded either and just attach yourself to a bullish mindset, which we've identified so far. Bitcoin is breaking bearish, right? So again, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here, but we're starting to lose that bullish momentum in the overall sense. We're still remaining in the bull flag in the big picture too, so I'm not super concerned with Bitcoin where it's at personally. Either way, we're under 50 on the RSI on the 4-hour too, typically construed as a bearish sign. Money flow index is increasing, of course, but that's pretty standard considering how much volume we saw in this one candle there. We can also see, of course, here that MACD is trying to diverge but hasn't yet. So once more, we're kind of in this situation here. We're in a transition. While we are testing the lower level of all moving averages there, basically right there at the 200, and we're under 50 on the RSI, we can see we haven't fully broken bearish with any of the momentous indicators yet. Once more, it's kind of funky. These indicators are not quite sure how to respond based on the simple fact that we have such I don't want to use improper terms, but this is very idiotic what happened yesterday. Yeah, simple way to understand it. Anyways, as far as taking a look at confirming factors here, let's look at the hourly and kind of see. We were supposed to have closed above the cloud here yesterday, which we didn't. Okay? So that would have been a confirming factor to take along. So we didn't get this bounce as we were hoping for because, again, greed is a very real thing. So having said all that, we're now officially below the cloud, lagging spans free and clear, and the conversion lines below the baseline. These are traditional signs to let us know that a short position might be viable for this coin. So if you do short, once again, I would just keep it tight. Make sure you watch it close. Short positions are successful as long as you do not get super greedy. You want to secure profits as you continue to go into profit. So I'm not telling you too short right now, exactly because the 4-hour and the daily time frame are still transitioning. But according to the hourly time frame, we're back below this descending trend line. We are getting 3 out of 3 green lights here to consider a short position here, because again, we've lost that momentum and everything looks pretty bearish on the small time frames. Let's quickly look at our TPO here and see. It does look like our point of control for the last 24 hours is 67,700. So if we do close below 67.7, there's a solid chance that we're going to see the price action continue lower. So still a little premature to note here, but generally speaking, this is not necessarily a good sign here. Okay? So all in all, that's kind of where we're at there. It is what it is, folks. And again, make sure that if you are using leverage, once more, just keep it minimal, keep it low. And I would just honestly be very careful trading Bitcoin right now. It's highly manipulated. Altcoins even more so. I felt confident taking some long positions yesterday once we got confirmation on every single time frame for Bitcoin. And look where we're at now. So that just kind of goes to show that sometimes the best technical analysis means nothing when it comes to these fundamental, perhaps buy the rumor, sell the news kind of situations here that we saw yesterday. Because again, we shouldn't be responding this poorly initially from the Fed meeting being so neutral. Again, inflation, all that stuff was paused. Essentially, nothing happened. Everything remained the same, and this is what we get. Anyways, history does tend to repeat itself, and if you note too, just keep this in mind. And I highlighted this previously on a YouTube and TikTok short. If you're not familiar, make sure to watch that if you haven't already. We can see here, though, that generally speaking, we see very positive results, not instantly, but shortly after Fed meetings release. Okay, so again, there is that. Anyways, just kind of throwing it out there so you have some more information. Hopefully this made sense. I described this correctly. Deeply appreciate you watching. Again, like, subscribe, follow if you haven't already. Absolutely appreciate that. We're looking for a candlestick closure at 67,000 or higher today to have any chance at maintaining this current range and or breaking this descending trend line. There's a lot of things we need to do here, but I think it's a little premature to get too crazy with shorts because it does feel like we're at the bottom. But again, the bottom drops out, we could see a whole another side of the market. All right, folks. Thanks again for watching. Be careful out there. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.